reverse engineer your truth. It's all self-awareness and then putting yourself in a position to succeed.
Mix patience with ambition and hope that I get gratitude. Other times I hope that I get Spanish chicks with attitude.
No, it's not easy telling your truth.
Alright, man, let me give y'all my raw truth. Y'all wanna know my truth for today? I'm tired as fuck. You can probably see it in my eyes, man. Like, I need to sleep. The past 2 days I've been going to bed really late and waking up really early. Just working on the vision and then having to go to work at Denny's. And I know I probably shouldn't do this, but at the same time, like, my passion for whatever I'm doing really just keeps me going and allows me to sacrifice, or that doesn't allow me, because I allow myself, obviously, but like, I don't mind sacrificing some sleep to work on the vision. But today, you better bet I'm asleep like a baby. You better bet I'm going to bed early, because, yeah, my brain cannot handle it any longer. No more 4-hour sleep nights. Especially not in a row. So I had 2 in a row, so I slept. In 2 days, I slept what I should have slept, you know, or what I usually sleep in one day. I slept in 2 days. You know, so I usually sleep 8 hours, but the day before yesterday and yesterday, I only slept 4. So, anyways, I'm gonna do some yoga right now. I was watching, I was doing some social media stuff, you know, keeping my consistency on Instagram and Twitter and all of them. But for the most part, I'm finna watch this actualize.org video while I do my my new yoga slash meditation routine, which I plan to do a video on that, just solely on that. That's gonna be cool. It's a technique, a routine, really, that I learned from Sadhguru, and his Isha Foundation YouTube video. But it's those techniques. They're really not from him specifically. They're from his whole, like, they're from the organization that he's in, the Yogi Swami Order, something like the Swami Order. That's what it's called. It's really an organization, you can call it, or yeah, it's an organization which solely focuses on self-realization, on, you know, spiritual enlightenment. And there's a lot of people in that organization that have made it really far in that path. And the whole organization is, you know, systemized and made in a way to help people get to that, or get on that path and keep developing themselves spiritually and keep moving towards spiritual enlightenment and self-realization. That's their whole that's what their whole organization is about. But anyways, yeah, that's gonna be the routine. That's where the routine comes from. And so yeah, you better bet it better be powerful if they have a whole organization around that. And I'm sure I'm missing a lot of the things, but I got a foundation, like the basics of a basic routine to start off. Maybe not too basic. It's pretty tough, but I know there's more to it. I just got to get more in depth. But for now, that's definitely a good start. What I'm doing, I probably will record it, because I'm gonna do the routine while I watch this. So I'll record some of it, and just some. And also, I might just record the whole thing and then, like, fast forward a lot of it and kind of stop on parts that I want y'all to listen to this video, because I know it's gonna be some good stuff in this video. I already watched like the first 2 or 3 minutes, so I know what it's about, and it's gonna be really, really good, and it's really aligned. It's really aligned with what I'm trying to do. Like he's trying to explain how to balance, making an impact in the world and reaching or how to impact the world from a place of self-realization, from a place of spiritual enlightenment. And I mean, I can't even explain it that well, but that's what it basically the theme is about. Self-realization, spiritual enlightenment, and creating systems around that will help you simplify the whole process of balancing all the things that you want to do, that you want to manifest into the world, but also being able to grow spiritually along the way. So that's what this video is about. And it's a theme, it's something that I've been talking about since I started the channel. So this is going to be really interesting. And it's an hour and 20 minutes long, so I better pay attention. That being said, I'm not going to record the whole thing. That's way too long. I'll just, whenever I hear something that I want the vlog to really hear, whenever I hear something really important, I'm going to include the link regardless. That's what I'm going to start to do, actually. I forgot. I wanted to do this. I had this thought. I forgot to do this. I'm going to just include the links to the videos that I'm watching so that y'all can watch the whole thing. But yeah, I'm going to include some crucial parts from this video, which I hope y'all enjoy. There's not going to be too much content today because, as I said, I'm going to be going to bed early today, no doubt. And it's already almost 8. So yeah, let's get on this.
I promise you that this will be worth your time, especially if you are on track with your life purpose and you want to ace that. So what is systems thinking? It's a way of looking at the world as a series of interconnected webs. Very nuanced, very detailed webs. Webs within webs within webs. Systems within systems within systems. And all of these interacting with each other in interesting and counterintuitive ways. So systems thinking is about seeing the world from this sort of meta perspective. Stepping out of your personal perspective, your own agenda or your clan's little agenda, and seeing the larger systems that constitute the functioning of our government, of environments, of economies, of the whole globe, and ultimately the entire cosmos. Living systems and also non-living systems. It's a geeky topic, which is spiral dynamics. I've introduced this model before of spiral dynamics. If you understand what that is, I'm just going to give a very brief nutshell explanation of it here. Basically, a guy by the name of Claire Graves, he studied how psyches evolve, both individual psyches within human beings, but also collective psyches, organizations, governments, and so forth. He studied this and he discovered that there are rungs, there are stages of evolution through which the psyche goes through. And each rung is defined by a different set of values and a different perspective on the world. So all these stages that you can move up through if you're growing, if you're self-actualized, you're going to be moving up this ladder. And every stage has a different way of seeing the world. And so what's really important is for you to move up to stage yellow. Stage yellow is a pretty high stage in the spiral dynamics model, and that's all characterized by systems thinking. So this is the first stage, and I'm not going to go into all the other stages. You can see my other episodes on that. But the stage yellow, what is different about it is that it's, for the first time, aware of the fact that there are stages. It's gotten to the point where it starts to see the world in terms of systems. And so a lot of what I'm going to be talking today is going to be a very detailed characterization of what it's like to look at the world from a stage yellow perspective. Now, if you're at the lower stages, you might not find it immediately palatable. You might not see the benefits of seeing the world this way. Well, that just means you're going to need to grow to it. And what spiral dynamics tells you is that there is a very linear path that one grows through as they evolve in their consciousness and in their development. And so if you want to grow to the highest stages with self-actualization, then you're going to have to evolve yourself to stage yellow. You're probably not at stage yellow right now. Maybe you're able to just tap into it barely. But the more you study systems thinking, the more you start to see the world through stage yellow glasses, then the more you're encouraging your psyche to evolve up this hierarchy. And that's a really important thing, because stage yellow is the first stage that's really reflecting on itself and becomes self-aware. And that becomes important because that allows you to avoid many of the disasters that befall you individually, but also us collectively, by not being able to self-reflect and to see the world for the systems that are there.
So just to like clear up, I think I should clear this up, because like he said, you gotta get to stage yellow if you want to evolve. Like, I don't think he's trying to say like you need to know spiral dynamics to, you know, evolve your consciousness and get to that point. But it is help if somebody already like try to make a blueprint, you know, and try to explain the stages, then it is helpful to have, you know, a map per se. It is helpful for you to know like kind of what to expect and go from that. Expand from your own experience, obviously. But I just wanted to clarify that, because I don't like when anybody says that, oh, you need my knowledge to evolve. Like, nah. It can be helpful, and you just gotta intuitively search for what is helpful to you in your own stage of evolution. But yeah.
Assume that, oh, my good intentions are enough. No. You also have to understand what the hell you're doing. And that means you have to study these systems and really understand how they work. It's a science. It's not anything goes. Another principle of systems thinking is that local actions have global impact. We can no longer just worry about our own little sphere here. Like, if I have my company, all I care about is my company and my profits and my bank account and my employees, and that's it. We can't think that way when we're doing systems thinking, because we have to understand that my company is just one element within a larger system. The global economy, or the national economy, or the industry that my company is a part of. And so what my company does doesn't just affect my company and my pocketbook, it affects my industry, it affects my country, it affects the citizens all over the world. It affects employment rates, it affects taxes, it affects currencies, right? It affects public opinion. So all these things need to be taken into account if you're going to run a successful company. Because if all you do is you build a local little company that only cares about itself, guess what? You're going to fail. You might succeed in the short term, but in the long run you're going to fail, because the world is becoming more and more global. And big companies now have to worry more and more about their global impact. You can't just say, fuck the world, and I'm going to do whatever I want, because you're going to have a backlash of public opinion against you. See, people will boycott you if you behave that way. So you have to start to think more globally. Not just with companies, but with everything. You have to see how you, or whatever you're doing, fits into the larger systems that it's a part of. As systems thinkers, we learn that we are our own greatest enemies. I hope Actualize.org has shown you that, at least for yourself personally, that you are your own greatest enemy. And I hope that you're getting a direct hit of that as you're doing personal development work. The more you do it, the more you'll see that, man, he wasn't kidding. I really am my own worst enemy.
And best friend.
But of course, not just individually, but also collectively. The United States is its own worst enemy. We create all our own problems. Nobody else is creating the problems. It's very important to start to understand that, because otherwise we're going to be stuck pointing our fingers outside of where the problems are. All the problems are really internal problems. Kind of a scary thought, huh? How many of those people there might be? Because you understand that Trump is just a product of a system. He's a victim as much as anybody. Because where'd it come from? Well, it's a sort of materialistic, stage orange, success-oriented mindset that he has. And this has been indoctrinated into him through his upbringing, through his family history, through the place he grew up in. I guess that was New York or wherever he got his chops, right? The kind of business environment that he was in. So somehow he learned how to run business in this sort of ruthless fashion, this non-self-reflective manner, growth at all costs. See? So that was a product of our culture. And American culture right now is suffering and suffocating because of this. Because look at Wall Street. Look at these giant corporations who are just lining their pockets with money. Like Apple, Microsoft, Facebook, Google. These corporations are going to become a huge problem for us in the future. We think that these are just innocent corporations right now. Google might seem like a good corporation, but what happens in 50 or 100 years when the founders are dead, long dead, and you have a manager running Google for maximizing profit? Oh boy, you better watch out. That could create a global catastrophe right there. Because these companies like Apple, Google, Facebook, Microsoft, they have so much money, so much power. If they really wanted to use it, they could do some real damage. So system thinkers understand that self-interest, whether it's corporate self-interest or government self-interest or religious self-interest, that this is ultimately tribalism. And tribalism is not going to work in the larger system of the entire planet. This means recognizing problems like the tragedy of the commons. I'll talk about that in the future. Studying things like arms races. Why do we have arms races? And arms races, of course, are not just nuclear arms races, but there are arms races that happen with corporations, with lawsuits. Patent lawsuits these days between giant corporations are an arms race in and of themselves. Political arms races. So starting to study all of these becomes important. And generally you start to come to the conclusion as a systems thinker that, hey, we need to include everyone into our solutions. Because if we exclude somebody, those people will get pissed off, they're going to rock the boat, and ultimately they're going to destabilize and break our system. So it's not really a solution unless it includes everyone.
Bam. Inclusiveness.
Also, it means being conscious of systemic addictions. Addictions are not just personal things, but they're also collective things. A nation could be addicted to oil, could be addicted to low taxes, could be addicted to subsidies, could be addicted to growth.
Let go and stop resisting the change that is necessary.
On the other hand, you shift your paradigm, you realize that everything is consciousness, and that the brain is not creating consciousness, but that consciousness is the location of the brain. When you realize that, the whole problem is solved. It's amazing. Let's see, that takes a paradigm shift. And making those paradigm shifts are the hardest things because it means you have to change your web of beliefs, which of course, most people don't want to touch. Now you might say, well, Leo, this is all well and good, but you know, why should I care about changing the world? I'm just interested in improving myself. I want to get my little family. I want to get my little business going and earn some good money, and that's all that I really care about. Who cares about changing the world? You're talking about these big things, government, taxes, terrorism. Like, I'm not going to change any of this stuff. Well, look, then what you're admitting here is that you're admitting that you're a useless human being. That's what you're admitting. Understand this. Because you're saying that all you care about is your personal pleasure and satisfaction and your own personal private success. And you're not tying that success or pleasure to anything of value that you're contributing to the world. You're expecting that stuff to just kind of be given to you because you go in there and you work for 8 hours a day, but your work is not directly tied to actually improving the world. What that means is that you will be eliminated. You will go extinct. You are like the dodo bird. It's only a matter of time. Understand this? Your ability in the future to get paid, to make a good living, will be directly proportional to how creative you are as a systems thinker and the kind of challenges that you're out there solving for the world. If your work is not solving meaningful world problems, you will get eliminated. You will not be successful. You will be miserable. And you will be wondering, just like those coal miners, hey, where are my coal jobs? I need my coal job back. Because you're just expecting somebody to provide you with employment. And you're not thinking about, hey, this thing I'm doing, by digging up fucking coal, I'm destroying the environment. Yeah, it's good for me and my family, but there's 7 billion other people around who don't want to be breathing coal. And there's solar companies and wind companies and all this innovation happening all around you, but I just want my coal. I just want to make coal and bring home a paycheck. Well, you know what? Fuck you, because you're a selfish bastard. That's what you are. You're not thinking ahead. You're not being creative. And so, therefore, you are being eliminated. I'm sorry to say that. That's what's real. And that's not just going to happen with coal. That's going to happen with everything. We're living in a society where change is accelerating every single fucking year. Change is accelerating. You need to be on your toes. You need to be learning, educating yourself. You need to be on the cutting fucking edge, or you will go extinct. That's what's going to happen. And before you go extinct, you will be very miserable. Extinction does not just mean your physical death. You will be miserable in many other ways. You're not going to have the satisfaction of contributing meaningfully to humanity. That's an enormous satisfaction. I get that every single day. It's a huge component of my happiness in my life. You're not going to have that? You're foolish if you're turning that down.
Fucking meditate. You'll thank yourself later. In so many different ways. One thing I'm gonna mention is, I don't know how much I believe in synchronicity or coincidences, but I've been having too much of it for it to be just a coincidence. I've been seeing 444s. I probably already said it on the vlog. I've been seeing 444s almost every day. And 214 also. 214, I've been seeing it a lot. 1014 right now. 214, I've been seeing it a lot, and that's the area code, one of the area codes in Dallas. So I've been seeing those two numbers a lot, and I don't know what to think of them. But if synchronicity is real, which I wouldn't doubt, but I don't want to speak about something that's not in my experience, so I would say, until I don't have the science behind it or an experience of what it really is, I don't want to talk about it or like present it as fact, synchronicity. But I've been seeing 444s and 214s almost every day since this year started. And 444s, I looked it up. There's some meanings behind the number, but I don't know how much I buy into them. But there's something there, man. There's something I haven't grasped yet about those numbers, because why do I keep seeing them? At least I want to know that. It's not normal. The amount of times that I've seen 444 is really not normal. And it's happened enough times for me to really doubt that it's just an accidental coincidence, you know? So, yeah, I just wanted to say my thoughts on that. They say, I've read some stuff that supposedly it's like spirits trying to guide you to the truth or to a higher path, to a self-realized path, to enlightenment. I don't know, but I intend to find out. But this is a very personal experience, you know. Everybody will go through their own personal experiences, which they might consider spiritual or mystical in some kind of way, or just magical. These experiences are very personal for the most part, and it's for a reason. It's for a reason, so that you go out and experience whatever that truth is for yourself, not believe in somebody else's experience of the truth. I think, at least, that's how it should be. That's the best way you could do it. It's the only way to really access or get a glimpse or live your truth. Is you gotta live it out. You gotta experience it for yourself, not believe somebody else's. And yeah, man, this spiritual grind will always come before this, because this is just my tools. These are my tools to get what I'm trying to say right now out. My music is really just gonna be the vehicle. Besides this vlog, obviously, they're gonna go hand in hand in spreading the message. But for the message to be clear and more straight to the point and more effective, and for my mental clarity and my mental focus to be more effective and efficient, focusing on my spirituality is essential. I think I'm gonna get to wherever I want to get way faster if I'm doing that first, putting that as the foundation. Another thing meditation gives you is insane concentration, because that's what you're doing in meditation. Like, you develop a lot of concentration, and it's worth it, man. It's all worth it. All the benefits are worth it. All of them. They really are. And it's not easy. Like, shit, that last meditation, I thought about fucking standing up, quitting the meditation, but nah. I didn't, because I knew in the end it would be worth it, focusing and overcoming whatever I was going through, whatever I was experiencing at that moment. I knew whenever I transcended it, it would be worth it in the end. And that's how we got to look at it. Or that's how I think we should look at it, in order to persist and overcome and persevere through anything. That being said, I'm going to leave it at that. Ending the vlog. I have a couple vlogs to edit today. And yeah. Catch y'all tomorrow. Peace.
Intuition, that's the rhythm that I'm grooving with. Tell me what's your energy. Show me what you're moving with. I ain't new to this. Don't be stupid.
The only real revolution happens right inside of you. I said what good is taking over when we know what you gon' do. The only real revolution happens right inside of you.